You turn my mourning into dancing. You turn my mourning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. Oh, there's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything in my body. Oh, something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my mourning into dancing. 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 Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything.
Good morning, Firmly Rooted family. Pastor Tom, Firmly Rooted Ministries, and it is Monday morning, January 20th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as well as the inauguration of a new president. Big day today. Getting it done here at the house because it's too cold outside. Oh, but the sun is shining. That's good. That is good. But be safe, everybody. Be safe. These cold temperatures that we're going to have over the next few days, just be safe. Plus, I also have a bit of a cold. Let's see who's on board besides me. Bert Reggiani, good morning. Ken Gooch, good morning. My sister Trish, good morning. Connie Sandbrink, what a great visit down at Firmly Rooted Greendale. Thank you, thank you. Dr. Colleen, good morning. Chuck B, good morning. Well, there's Alice. Good morning, Alice. Good to have you on board. And more are coming on. I can see that. Good. Did I share the screen yet? No. So let me share this. We're going to be sharing Mark chapter 3, beginning at verse 7. There it is. All right, let's get into it. Last week, we faced the fact that Jesus was on the Sabbath day in the synagogue, and there was a man, remember, with a shriveled hand, and everyone was wondering whether he was going to heal the man so that they could try him for working on the Sabbath day. I mean, so crazy. The guy's healing people, and they want to condemn him for it. Well, at any rate, as you know, he heals the man, and they went out and they started planning and plotting on how they might destroy Jesus, right? Craziness. Just like when in the message, the Jesus in his hometown, and he can't hardly do anything there because they don't even have enough faith. And when he tells them, when he reads Isaiah 61 and tells them that this is fulfilled in your hearing today, they end up wanting to push him off a cliff. So you say to yourself, why are people so violent? Because Satan wants to kill, steal, and destroy. See, we keep thinking that people just have their own opinions. And I guess that's what you would call it. But there are lies and there are truths, and lies will always lead to violence. Truth will lead to peace. It's just a fact. It's a biblical fact. Read Proverbs and see how the foolish are always being violent. Why? Because they claim something to be true, but there's nothing underneath it holding it up. And so their only option is to get ugly and to scream and yell and get violent and change words and do all these things. They're flailing. So just know that this craziness that you see, people that grew up with Jesus or saw Jesus grow up now want to throw him off a hill. But at any rate, Jesus withdrew with his disciples to the sea, and a great crowd followed him from Galilee, Judea, Jerusalem, Idumea, the Jordan, and from Tyre and Sidon. Now there's this ripple effect, which I always wonder, like, where in the 21st century church is the ripple effect? That somebody gets healed, someone has a demon cast out, somebody has deliverance, someone has a miracle take place, someone is saved. And it seems to just stop right there, as opposed to this ripple effect of more and more people coming to get what they need. But it's just a thing that keeps racking my mind as to where is that spiritual ripple effect. When great crowd heard all that he was doing, they came to him, and he told his disciples to have a boat ready for him because of the crowd, lest they crush him. Crush him? Well, it's because they all know if they get near him, if they even touch him, they might be healed, right? So everybody's want to press in on Jesus, especially since that woman with the great flow of blood was healed in that way, right? And he had healed many, so that all who had diseases pressed around him to touch him. And whenever the unclean spirit saw him, I think this is amazing. It's getting to the point where he doesn't have to confront a demonic spirit. Whenever an unclean spirit saw him, they fell down before him and cried out, "You are the Son of God." And he strictly ordered them not to make him known. And I think I'm supposed to end there. Nope, I'm going to keep going. But let's talk about that for a second. The demons know when they shudder, James says. We know that you're the Son of God. He has been trying to tell Nicodemus he's the Son of God. He's been trying to tell, and did tell, the woman at the well. He's trying to tell people in his own hometown. Notice some listen, some don't listen. Demons know exactly who he is, and they fall down and cry out, "You are the Son of God." They're proclaiming it. They'll even say, "Are you here for judgment? Are you here to throw us into the abyss?" They even know that he's here to crush them. But what does Jesus do? He finds his 12. And he went up on a mountain and called to him those who he desired, and they called to him, and he appointed 12 to be apostles, so that they might be with him, and he might spend time, send them out to preach and have authority to cast out demons, right? So now he gets his 12 apostles. They are disciples. He's going to make them apostles. They're all going to create disciples, and hence the discipleship process begins. Notice they have the authority to preach the gospel and cast out demons. Preach the gospel and go to war with the enemy. Preach the gospel, go to war with the enemy. Our lives, firmly rooted, if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, we should be preaching the gospel and going to war against the enemy. And as we preach the gospel, we save people and we disciple them so that they will go out and preach the gospel and go to war with the enemy. He appointed Simon, to whom he had given the name Peter, James, the son of Zebedee, and John, the brother of James, to whom he gave the name Boanerges, which is sons of thunder, Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, and Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who would betray him. And I think that's where I'm supposed to end. 19? Yes. All right. And Judas Iscariot, who is to betray him. Well, why don't I just keep going, get it to the end here. Then he went home, and the crowd gathered again. So he went up on a mountaintop, established who were the disciples, told them he's going to start training them and discipling them and teaching them so they could preach and teach and cast out demons. And then he goes back. Come on. Then he went home, and the crowd gathered again so that they could not even eat. So now the crowd is just all over the place, right? I mean, can you imagine? You see it in The Chosen where Peter's trying to be a security, right? Like, how do we keep all these people away from Jesus? It's impossible, right? I just wish, where is this? I'm praying for a revival where people are wanting to be around Christians and hear the message. They're going to want to be in church to figure out what it is we believe in and who it is we believe in and what it is we get from believing in him. I mean, I keep praying that God would create this holy discontent with inside the people of our community so that they would be hungry to want to know what's really, really true. When his family heard it, they went out to seize him. They think he's nuts, right? It says, look at, they were saying he's out of his mind. His brothers, his family, his relatives. They can't stand the fact that a scene is being made. They've already decided that he's not the Messiah. They've already decided that this is bad and they're trying to stop it. Unbelievable. And all he's doing is what? Preaching redemption, saving people from their sins, healing people, setting people free, giving them hope and peace and joy. Let's kill that guy, right? That has to be demonic, right? That has to be demonic. All right, that's it. I hope that this devotion was a blessing to you. Let's see if anybody else came here on at the end. We already said hi to Alice. There's Karen Thompson. Christy Bipes, hope you're feeling a little bit better. Be praying for Christy. She's been feeling a little under the weather, not herself last few days. Continued prayers for you. All right, I think that's it. I'll be back at 9 for prayer. Blessings on your day. Make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.